So this summer we went to a camp in Panama City, Laguna Beach, actually.
Yeah.
That was the name of the beach, but it was right next to Panama City Beach, Florida. Me and Kobe had some pretty cool experiences there. So, Kobe, you want to start us off with that?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
We'll go from there. Yeah.
So, Converge. So we went to Converge 2021. Like, Shirley Hills does it every year. So me and James got to help this time as college leaders, kind of. So, like, James has better stories. But, like, on the bus ride, we had to take the bus there. And usually that's where all the...
Wait, why don't we tell it in parallel?
Parallel?
Yeah, like you
your
bus experience.
So my bus experience, that was pretty good,
Right.
I was like...
we have to set it up first. So we were in the auditorium, right? Sitting there. And they decided to split the bus up. Have the high schoolers go on one bus.
Oh, yeah.
And the middle schoolers go on the shorter bus.
And I just hear your name called out. James Lingard. I was like, okay.
Wait,
cool. You're the one volunteering?
Yeah.
What are they trying to say about the middle schoolers?
Apparently, I went full Katniss Everdeen. I volunteered as tribute to be on the shorter bus, on the middle schoolers bus.
There he was. He was walking down the aisle.
Kobe got on the charter bus.
And as I got up from my seat, I thought about it for a few seconds.
Right.
And I was is this the right
decision? Never thought about it again.
I was like, is this the right decision?
Right.
Then I realized the group James was going with, and I continued to walk down my path.
Right, because the charter bus had AC. And as we parted ways in front of the church, cue the music from Fast and Furious, it's been a long, me and Kobe were going in separate lines,
As I walked up the first few steps.
He turned back slightly.
No, actually not.
Wind brushing his
As I walked past the
hair.
first few steps, I realized the air was blowing on the back of my head.
Right,
and
the
I kept
AC.
walking.
And as I walked up the steps, I realized that there was no air blowing. Because the AC was broke. And, then began my long journey into tournament. Kobe, but now you can give your charter bus experience.
After making it to the very top of the step, I looked out around the people that were on the bus, and they just all started cheering my name,
Kobe.
Yeah, no, they didn't. I'm pretty sure they're all thinking it, though.
Oh, right.
So I started walking down, giving everybody high fives, dabbing them up.
Yeah.
Like, what's up, bro? I was like, yes, sir. I was like, you got a seat for me? They're like, yeah. No, all the seats were actually taken.
Oh, right.
So at first I sat next to Will. He was like, hey, you can sit here, bro. I was like, appreciate it. So I sat there a little bit.
Appreciate it.
Shut up. This is my story, bro.
Oh, man. I can't believe you said that.
Yeah, no, right? That kind of weird. Yeah, so I sat there a little bit, and honestly, it was kind of boring. I was like right behind Miss Jennifer. She was like talking the whole time. She was talking about Will. She was like, yeah, I'm trying to get somebody for Will. And like Sarah
Why
was
are you doing vocal imitation?
That's what she was doing. Like Sarah was like right across from us, and like they were like talking about what she was like talking about like some like her proposal story and like what happened. So I was like, okay. And then it got kind of boring. So I was like, I'm finna dip. So I went to the back, and then it was like Buddy and Caleb back there and everything. So I was like, alright, I'll just chill over here for a little bit.
Sounds
Sat there for a few minutes, and then Buddy was like, Kobe, get your speaker. I was like, bro, we can't just play music just out of nowhere. So I was like, hey, Pastor Jeff, can we play some music? He was like, nah, not right now. We gotta watch a movie. So we had to sit there for. I was like, bro, it better not be no robots or something. Big Will, live your dream. No. So it was like some cringy Christian movie. Like this girl got pregnant. This couple got pregnant young, and like the guy decided to give up going to college to raise his child. And it was like really cringy, but
I'm gonna be real with you. I've never seen a good Christian movie.
Actually, Courageous was good. That's the only one
I've seen like two.
All the ones I've seen are boring.
Courageous and Fire
and like
are pretty
stupid,
good.
and I'm like, this is dumb.
Actually, God's Not Dead is good.
I liked Run the Race. That was a good Christian movie.
Yeah, I like Run the Race, Courageous, God's Not Dead. The second God's Not Dead was.
So you like all of them?
No, not all of them.
I like all the VeggieTales movies.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, those are good.
Those are valid.
Right, back to my story.
Anyways, yes.
So basically, that movie took like a whole hour, and then I went to sleep throughout that time. Woke back up, tried to watch some anime, and then I was like, "Hey, y'all trying to play cards?" So we like played politics a little bit, and mostly it was pretty fun. And I won most of the time too. And then I looked back up and I realized we were at the rest stop.
All right, now I get my side.
Actually,
No. So
that was just the beginning.
we flash back a couple hours back to the church. Kobe's getting on the
Why
bus.
is your voice all downcasted? Kobe was getting on the butt. No, just talk
Hey, I'm
normal.
telling my story, okay? I'm telling my story.
Your voice all
So
sad.
Kobe's getting on the bus, and there's AC on.
Kobe's getting on the bus.
There's AC on this bus, and I'm getting on the bus. You know, Judah's in front of me. He has his crutches. So I help him up the steps as best as I can.
Didn't. No, you didn't.
I picked
Yeah, I
in my
did.
arms. And
I cradled
carried
Judah's teenage body in my arms.
Teenage body.
Teenage body.
Up the stairs and set him down, and I said, there, Judah Buddha, there. But anyways, I was on the bus with my friend Philip Braswell, and he sat in the back, so logically I sat in the front, you know, to disperse ourselves, to spread our control, our influence.
Y'all had no control.
Right.
What influence?
So I was in the front with Landon Thompson and Caden Norrell, and Philip was in the back with like the Eggerts and
of course.
Carter and Kaylee and all of them, just chilling, you know. So me and Landon, as we're leaving the church, get into a conversation, a debate, if you will, about what color the pavement is. I'm saying it's black. He's saying it's gray. But the pavement is clearly not gray, it's black.
You talking about at Shirley Hills?
Yes.
Yeah, that's black.
That's what I said. It's
Do
asphalt
you
is
not
black.
know what gray looks like?
That's what we debated that from there all the way to the interstate, which you know is like 30 minutes.
How did it get any further?
I don't
Black,
know.
gray, black, gray.
Yes.
Is that what it was?
It should have just
Exactly.
been, I think it's black, I think it's gray.
We started debating color
that's
theory,
it.
and then we decided to play tic-tac-toe. But instead of doing 4 lines, he did like the entire page. So he was like line. Like the entire page was tic-tac-toe, and you had to get like 15 in a row. So we did that, and then I tried to go to sleep, but then he started. I gave up halfway through.
Okay.
I don't know. And then he started flicking me on the knee so I couldn't go to sleep. And then Caden was sitting next to me, right? Caden Norrell. Here's the funny part. So I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah, but
What did you
but
do?
can't sleep. Isn't that what he said?
So Landon stops flicking me, right?
This.
So I'm like, I can finally go to sleep. So I lean forward, you know. I'm on the very imagine there's like a boundary between sleep and awake.
Right.
The moment
Bro, get to it.
the moment I begin, my toes tiptoe across the boundary of sleep, I hear his voice next to me, and he goes, "That boy James." He goes,
So I can't even say it.
he goes, "That boy James sleep."
Nah, I'm not asleep.
And I'm like, no, I'm not asleep.
He's like the donkey to your Shrek.
Yes. So he leaves me alone again, and I decide to go back to sleep. And he goes, "Hey James, you finished Naruto?"
Why?
He thinks you're asleep and he's trying to have a conversation.
And then I'm almost asleep again. And he starts freestyling in my ear. And it's like bad freestyle. He's like, the bars go high in the stars. I'm in my car. I was riding down. I'm like, leave me alone. Eventually he stopped speaking, right? And I almost got to go to sleep again. But every time I almost crossed that boundary, he wasn't even talking anymore, but I'd hear like his voice in my head. He'd be like, James, get up, James.
He told you to get up.
Yeah. He got probably like, James. Like,
Why you made his voice like that?
I don't know. It's unmimicable. I can't copy it.
That's true.
But yeah, I didn't sleep at all. I was sleep deprived. And that whole entire night going into Converge, I got no sleep. So going into church camp, the whole first day, I had zero energy. I'm sorry. My throat hurts from the
That's
laughing.
there was one time I snapped. Like, I advocated on Snap at the Converge. Like, I snapped them, like, during Wabazar. And, like, we were at the church at that time. So then like a few minutes later, he texted me. It was like, that boy Kobe at church. I was like, no. I was like, what? Of course. I mean, that's where I just sent you a picture of it. But it's like a common thing for him.
Anyway, so that was happening. As I was being tortured in the front, in the back, they're having a party. Like, they were singing, like, the old 2000 songs, like all the Justin Bieber.
Shawty, like a melody.
Yeah, like, they're having a party back there and all that. But yeah, I decided to put on my headphones.
Why don't you just go to the back?
Because all the seats were full. And somebody had to be up front.
True.
Yup. And there's a lot more stuff that happened. But I'm not going to go into that much detail because I've already taken enough time. So we're going to have to blitz through the highlights of camp.
Oh, yeah, camp.
Right, so after a bunch more driving. Huh?
Oh, you want to talk about when we got there?
What happened when we got there?
We went straight to worship.
We don't have to talk. We'll just hit like the highlights. Yeah, so as you expect at church camp, there's worship, there's sermons and all that. We talked about the Holy Spirit, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, that's what the whole thing was about.
Yeah, that was the theme. And there's a lot of deep stuff on that. We'll probably make like a part 2 about like, if you guys want like a part 2 about summer stuff, because there's a lot to cover.
Yeah, a lot.
I
forgot about the funny stuff during VBS.
Yeah.
Shaggy.
Shaggy. Yeah, John, you don't know. What the heck? Yeah, spoilers, but during VBS, there's this one kid, and every day he would have a different nickname for me. So one day he walked in, and he started calling me Shaggy for some reason. He was like, "Hey, Shaggy." And then he saw Kobe, and like, he made it plural, so he was like, "What's up, Shaggies?" And then the next day he came in, and he like screams, he's like, "Oh, Michael Tate!" And he
every day, man, it would be something different.
Michael Tate?
I don't even know how he
Michael
does
Tate.
But this kid's like, he's like a little kid, but he like uses old terms. He uses old terms for some reason. He'd be like, "I'm gonna sock you." I'm like, "What the? How do you know what that means?"
He was just screaming Michael Tate. Like, he kept calling me Mike. He's like, "Michael Tate, Michael Tate.
Come hither and turn out thine pantaloons."
The next day, he started calling me Dunkin' Donuts. And then he started choking this girl.
When the parents were there,
and I was like, "Why are you doing that?"
During that parent
he
night,
was
he
like,
was fine.
He was like, "I'm gonna kill her."
Okay, he did.
I was like, "What?" And I was like, "You mean love her? Like, you like her, right?" And he was like, "No." Like, he was like,
his arms shaking too.
Yeah, he was like blushing, and like I was like, "Yeah, he likes her, but he doesn't know how to say it." So I think by kill he meant like. So he didn't want to kill her. He liked her. So like there was one day she didn't even show up, and he was like, "Where's that girl? Where'd she go? I wanted to play with her today." I was like, "That's what you call playing?"
Playing?
I guess that's his way of flirting.
Choking
her is like.
What, the next OJ?
Yes, that's how second graders flirt these days. It makes a lot of sense too.
Wild.
Yeah. But that's VBS spoilers. Yeah.
Spoiler.
Bruh. Jonathan's cousins were going wild too.
Oh yeah.
Isaac. So the whole time them and Ezra was like acting crazy.
So quick story, and I'm only telling this one because it played out like an anime. Like you need to get him into voice acting. So I get them confused all the time.
Me too.
Isaac, so Ezra.
Ezra's the one.
Isaac was the one handing out the pencils. And like, well, he was getting them back from everybody.
Yeah.
So Isaac comes to get the pencil back from Ezra, and he doesn't even tell. He just like snatches it from Ezra. But I told him like to pick it up. I didn't mean like snatch it, but he takes it, and Ezra goes, Isaac. Isaac. No, at first he does it quietly. He's like, Isaac. And like, Isaac is like walking.
Meanwhile, we're trying to listen to the lesson. I was like, what's
Isaac
going
is
on?
like walking away like in slow motion. And then Ezra stands up like Super Saiyan and goes, Isaac! We're like, what the heck? He legit sounded like he was powering up.
Oh man.
Like, no, it was like actually pretty like legit. Like, it's like, Isaac!
Right.
Isaac!
Maybe we should
Get them into voice acting or something. That was heat. Like, I was imagining the fight scene in my head.
Right.
Yeah, that was cool.
Wow.
But yeah. A lot of fun stuff happened this summer. like we did do a lot of pranks. We went in water. Well, I wasn't like a major player in the shenanigans and tomfoolery, because of my personality per se. But yeah, we did have water balloons, and we may or may not have thrown them at the girls in the girls' cabin.
Oh, you made it like that.
And they may or may not have retaliated with shaving cream.
We may or may not have
trying to catch me,
spray.
but they can't. Yeah, it was legit chemical warfare. But that leads us to our next feature story. I call this one Caden Norell and the Ice Bucket.
Ice Bucket Challenge.
So it was nighttime, right? Like 1 o'clock, and everybody's supposed to be asleep. So there was like people running the streets with shaving cream cans.
Before we
water
had, like,
balloon wars.
Before we had like the snow cones and everything, you know, you just stop by and get a few snow cones, and like in order for you to make that, like these big cylinder blocks of ice that you use, so like it's all saved up. So like after that, like after the prank course, we're like, okay, we're done with that. So like this man Caden, he decides to find the ice blocks, which I don't even know where he found it from, but he was like, all right. Like everybody else is throwing water balloons, we're having a good old time. He decides to grab the ice block and just toss it high up in the air while everybody's running.
Keep in mind,
I'm like, what?
No, keep in mind this nighttime.
Yeah,
these aren't tiny ice blocks.
No, these things are like, they're not like ice puck sizes.
If they smash,
it's like
they're
a
like
frisbee.
Cubicle.
It's the size of a frisbee.
Like if it smacked you on the head, you're getting damaged.
And they're thick.
So
too.
he goes, "Hey, everybody!" And he just throws them as high as he can into the
like
air.
when I looked, then I was like, okay, he's just like playing around. Like he might like lick it or something. Then I saw him toss it in there. I was like, what?
Chucks it high.
He actually did it.
Everybody watching.
I ran. I was like, what? You crazy?
This man proceeds to pull out like 4 more ice blocks, Frozone style.
I was like, okay, we got past that. Then I just looked over again. I was like, he has another one.
Like 4
more.
Like just throwing them.
I'm surprised nobody else was like wondering what was happening. Me and Jay were the only one like looking at him, like
confused. Like
everybody else was just running by, kicking the pieces of ice that already got thrown.
I'm like, what are y'all doing? I mean, it was the last night at camp.
Yeah.
It's like I can understand that kind of miscreant behavior.
Not that kind of.
Yeah, never expected that. Never expected.
I thought he was gonna hit his own self in the head with it.
Yeah, but honestly, most of camp went by in a flash.
It did.
We can talk about the drama competition. So every year we have like a theater type competition type thing. My group came in second. Because me and Kobe were leaders of each team. And I was like a leader of the red team, and Kobe was a leader of the yellow team.
I think we got 4th. Gold.
4th. But yeah, what was your skit about?
So ours is basically like, so like the whole, like the theme of the Converge is, what was it, Power Surge?
Yeah,
so like ours is kind of like a power outage type thing. So like we use like the TV, and like we had a camera. So like one of the girls in our group, Lainey, she was like the reporter. And like anything that the camera showed, it like made it kind of like a news station. So like it would pop up on the TV and it would show her. So we like did like a family. We did like a family who didn't like know who the Holy Spirit was, and like anytime like we prayed or something, and like anytime like the Holy Spirit got mentioned, the lights would like flicker, and then eventually like the lights went out all the time. Yeah, that's what we did. That's kind of what it was. It was kind of like one of those, you know, common theme skits. We're like, you know, we finally realized
the light flickering.
Yeah, it was kind of late actually. Yeah, that's kind of what it was.
Cool. Yeah, ours was simple. It was like along those lines, but it was like Holy Spirit centered, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Like we had like a TV, like it was supposed to have like the sitcom vibe, like the WandaVision '80s television sitcom type vibe.
Yeah. I did not get any of that.
Oh no, that's what we were going for.
I was like, oh, I couldn't tell. I thought y'all was just like sitting in the living room.
Yeah,
I was like, huh?
At least you understood that.
Yeah.
But that's what we were going for.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it was supposed to play out like a sitcom type thing. Like everybody's like watching a TV and like they're wondering why it's not working and they're trying to fix it. Like trying different ways to fix it, and then at the end, like Abby, one of the girls in my group, comes up and is just like, "Oh, it was unplugged the whole time." And like the whole moral thing is like, you can't expect to have power to work if like you're not plugged into like the Holy Spirit and any of that.
Yeah.
So that was the whole thing we were going for, and it turned out pretty well. I was pretty happy with it.
Probably should have explained mine better.
The lights flickering.
Too late.
Too late.
Yeah. You can't explain
I'm
yourself
sure you
now.
got it. The videos are out there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I think Miss Amy has it.
Yeah. I quite enjoyed my Bapple presentation.
Yeah, James carried it.
That was fun.
He did like a whole like like the genuine Apple type interview thing you would see. That's basically what James did.
It was like an Apple spoof.
But he did like an off-brand version.
Yeah.
So he did it Bapple instead.
Yeah.
And it was like a rock and some string. I was like, what is this man doing?
So, yeah, John, you weren't there. So I'll do my best to recreate it. Hold up, let me get into character.
Uh-huh.
And scene 1. Take 1. Action. Innovation. Excitement. Something new is coming to the world that will revolutionize the technology of this age. You see, remotes are so defined in this present era. They're conforming and confined to curvature. There's a statement that there are no straight lines in nature, only angles. Look at the Apple remote. What does it have? Straight angles. You see, it truly delivers an out-of-this-world experience with its literal edge-cutting technology. And then, per se, I had a rock, right? And I was like, do you see this? What is this? What is this? And everybody in the crowd was like, it's a rock. And I was like, no, you're wrong. You're so blind by your ignorance. You fools, this is not a rock. This is the next step in television watching technology. And it was a telepathic remote. Of course, which they knew by now. So like, there's a kid named Landon there, as I talked about before.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. And I like put it to his head. And I was like, now use your mind. Use it and then control it.
He was like, ah! He was like screaming. He was like, ah! I was like, what's
like
that?
Kylo Ren torturing Rey. And like,
Yeah.
He's like, oh! He's like, her face is shaking.
That was the funniest part. I was like, dang, this man's dying.
He really sold it, huh?
And like before that, I took like the shoelaces out of my shoe and I held it up and I was like, do you guys see this? And they're like, what is this? And I'm like, it's a shoestring. I was like, no. You idiot. I was like, no, this is the remote tether. You'll never lose your remote again for $299.99. Like, you know how Apple sells like overpriced stuff and everything. So yeah, it was just a shoestring, but when it's paired with the Apple remote, it becomes so much more. It becomes a tether. Truly connecting you to your TV watching experience, by the way. Just thought of that. But yeah, I did like a whole Apple spoof. And then Landon died on the floor. And then I was like, I had like a side effects type cards thing. I was like, it does have some side effects like nausea, sickness, death, the instant kind, you know, that kind of thing. And I was like, don't worry about it, because we have to pay the price for innovation. It's a sacrifice we're willing to make, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my whole thing for the skit.
Alright, that's nice.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, that was the skit competition. And then Gabe's team skit was really cool. As I expected. Because they all do drama.
They all do
Yeah, that happened. And then bus ride back. I don't know. I mean, you've gone to church camp before, right, John?
No, I don't think he's been to.
Well, not like with our church.
Not at Shirley Hills,
No.
but yeah, I went with the Northside Baptist or whatever to some camp called Camp Friendship.
Camp
That was
French.
pretty cool. We all rode in
Sounds
this little
very
bus
sketchy.
though.
Yeah, Camp
It was like a little like van basically. It was hot. I don't think the AC works. I got this like Mountain Dew that was like, I guess one of the like Dark Knight. I think the Dark Knight was coming out. I got some like the Dark Knight Mountain Dew.
I remember those.
That was the first time someone ever waterfalled a drink.
It was like, it's like kind of grayish.
Because
You're like, whoa.
Cause I got it, yeah, and then I was like, wow, this is sick. And then he was like, whoa, can I try some of that? Can I waterfall? I was like, I guess. I didn't know what it was, but I was like,
a waterfall,
sure,
right?
sure. Yeah. At one point, it got really hot, and this one girl was just like, I'm gonna take my shirt off.
Yeah, there's always that girl.
Yeah, and then like the teacher was like, no, and then she's like, there's like some other guys like that I guess she was more friends with. She's like, they're not here and they're creepy, but these kids don't care or whatever. And I was like,
Yeah.
It was weird. But it was pretty fun. I caused 2 girls to like collide and maybe get like a concussion. Like they hit each other hard.
That sounds about right.
We were playing this like game where like it was girls versus boys, and like we were like the runaway like to the safety zone people, and you had like these like glow in the dark bracelets, and you had 3, and if they caught you once, they took 1, and then whoever had the most bracelets at the end. And there was more girls, so like we were already at a disadvantage. And then for some reason, one of the like guy counselors like just came out of nowhere and tagged me, and he's like, "I'm on the girls team," and it's like, "You didn't tell us that beforehand."
You did. You literally
it's like
informed us.
No one. It's like, why? But okay. And then, like,
but okay. But okay.
So and then I was running, and it was like this. They had this weird little mini golf thing that was like gated off, and that was the safety zone. And so I guess the girls were waiting at the edges of it.
Yeah.
So like when you could kind of come in out from the woods, like you wouldn't see them, but then like once you got there, it was too late, and they were like converging on you.
Yeah.
And so I dashed, like sprinted, and I like jumped in right before they got me, and they went and like smacked each other's heads, and they were on the ground like crying. And they had to get like a golf cart to come like pick them up or whatever. And I was just like,
yeah.
What's it need?
Yeah.
Like, y'all shouldn't have been running at me. Like, but I'm like, if they collided like that, it's like, what were they gonna do? Like, if they got me, like, was I just gonna get like squished?
That was their plan.
And I'm like this. They were like older too, because this was like when I was like near the end of middle school, and they were like high school girls. So I'm like, I would have gotten crushed. Like
they're going for the kill.
I would have been destroyed. Like I don't even know what they were thinking. But yeah, it was them or me, and I chose me.
It's a smart choice though. Smart choice.
And that sounds like the tagline for a movie. It was either them or me, and I chose me.
That's my main church camp experience. Other than that, we like stuck our hands in like an ice cooler for like as long as we could, and like that hurt so bad.
You know who else had to do that?
That was a bad idea.
Kyle in the military.
Oh, you did.
Oh, he did.
Do that.
Training.
Yeah. Youth is in the military. If you guys didn't know, he left to go there.
I forgot that was his name.
Yeah, Youth.
You're an average father.
His name's Kyle now.
Kyle.
You can't change it.
Kylie.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's out of the military now. So, well, not out of the military.
So watch
he's
out.
Out of training.
He's been released, and
watch
he's dangerous.
Watch out!
He
Now
knows how
he's
to
trained
kill.
in games.
He knows how to kill.
I will find you.
Watch out.
And I will
He'll
kill
track
you.
you down.
I will find you. That's gonna be Kyle.
Yeah, but yeah, there's lots of other stories we can talk about, but we'll save that for like a part 2 type thing. This is just meant to be something light, something fun.
I remember one time I got in a fight at one of the camps.
Oh yeah.
You want to tell it real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, if you want to wrap it up.
All right, tell it in excruciating detail.
Excruciating? That was a long time ago.
It was a warm.
I said excruciating detail.
Alright, so basically, like, you remember the Camp Impact at New Hope?
I need you to describe.
You don't remember that?
I remember.
It was a warm.
So basically, like,
don't.
Okay, so basically, me and James used to go to this church called New Hope International.
And this was pre-Shirley Hills. Yeah. This was pre-time.
That's pre-middle school. This is like probably elementary. Entry to middle school.
Slightly before elementary.
Yeah.
As well.
But when I went to the camp, it was like about elementary. I think I was in elementary school. 4th grade, I think. Like, so we went to this camp, and, like, my dad was, like, the main bus driver. Like, we would, like, go to different places every other day. So, like, I guess, like, during the camp, we have different games. You know, like, dodgeball. Like, it's, like, the kids versus the leaders. Yeah. Like, there was, like, this one kid, like, when I first got there, like, we were, like, kind of friends. I was like, oh, this kid's kind of cool. And then, like, for some reason, like, when I was younger, I would, like, believe people, like, I was, like, really gullible. Like, I heard somebody say, I still am kind of sometimes. Yeah. I heard, like, somebody say, they were like, hey, that kid's talking about you or something. So I was like, dang, that man's a jerk. So then I stopped liking him for some reason. I don't know why. But like at one point, like we started playing soccer, and I realized he was like kind of better than me. And then he like said some snide remark, and then like we got in a fight. I started punching him,
A fight?
Something happened. I don't remember. We got in a fight. I know we got in a fight though.
Ah, so you got in a fight, then you blacked out and you came to and he was on the ground.
He was never.
Yeah, that's exactly.
He was never heard from again.
I don't even know where he is.
They don't even know where he is.
What?
I just know I got in a fight at that time.
And then from then on, you were like, I'll never get in a fight again.
And then Miss Dana like came over there. You remember her? And
Yeah.
like she pulled us like to some office, and then I had to sit in there. And like I knew my dad was like the bus driver, so I was like, bro, I'm getting whooped when I get home. I was like, yeah, this is it.
You're getting whooped on the bus.
This is it.
Did you win though?
Honestly, it was kind of like a draw. I think we wound up choking each other or something.
That's a classic kid movie.
Yeah,
What?
we were like that.
My brother used to.
He was like on top. He was on top of me, and then I like rolled over, and I was on top of him. It was
Hey yo!
No,
I was always like bigger.
I'm just gonna clip that out of the podcast and take it so out of context.
no homo.
Pause.
See, I'm cleared now. No homo.
Pause. In the name of Jesus Christ.
But to wrap it all up, I never got whooped, and I don't even think my dad even knew.
You ever? Okay, I know everybody's had these thoughts, but like, do you ever have that thought of like what you would do if you got into a fight? Like in
I'm
school?
gonna trip him. I'm gonna punch him.
Like in high school, I always had like this vision in my head of like I'd be like walking on the way to class and somebody like trips me or something.
Sure, you want to do that? Yeah. You like have the comments
let me
in your
tell
head.
my vision. So I trip, right? A big crowd forms. It's outside between the main building and in building. So you're not spaced like that gap. It's like in that alley.
You have like backup. You have backup steps too,
right?
Just in case he does this.
Right. So
I'm gonna
he's
do
there,
that.
right? He's there. Like there's this giant circle forming around us. He's like, come on, you know, he has his guard up, you know,
Come
all
at
over,
me.
like his slap boxing guard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like,
The three.
like I'm on my Bruce Lee type jump. So, you know, of course, I let him attack first. Psych, no, I attack first. I'm on the offensive. I dash at him. I don't mean run, I dash.
So this is quicker than a run.
Yes, it's quicker. I
see.
See, I'm a soccer player, so logically I hit him with a quick footwork. I'm like, you know, the step overs, all of that. So he expects me to use my hands because you know he thinks I'm just a nerd.
This actually takes me back to.
I don't know how to
Unless you
fight.
finish it.
I don't know how to fight. So he expects me to swing with my fist, right? Wrong. He sides like every kid does. He's like, shoot. Everybody's like, ooh. But I throw my entire weight into this punch, right?
You've been reading
so I'm
Lucky
carried by my no. I'm carried by my momentum. But he doesn't know. Scorpion kick from the back.
What?
He doesn't see it coming.
Why is it scorpion?
That's what it's called. I do that in soccer. It's called a scorpion kick.
Just do back kick.
Wait.
Calm
That's
down.
where you like bend your leg over your back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the actual name for a kick?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you just made that up. I was like, why that?
So then I hit him with a combo, right? So I do the traditional jiu-jitsu move, you know.
Oh, you know that?
1 foot, 1 foot behind theirs. Shove, sweeping motion, like with your hands. And they fall backwards, right? As he's falling, I spin around. Reverse roundhouse kick him in the back of his head.
What's the crowd doing now?
They're in shock. They're in shock. He's falling backwards. I spin, reverse roundhouse kick from the ground, and
I'm trying to imagine what you're talking about.
I scoop upwards with my foot and kick him in the back of the head. He was falling backwards. Now he's going forwards. I finally spin all the way back around.
So he's going into 360 in midair.
No. He's falling backwards. Like he's originally falling backwards.
He
like
was falling
tripping.
forward. Now he's going.
No. He was falling backwards.
Oh.
Then I roundhouse kicked the back of his head. Now
And he gets crushed into the stone.
No. Now he's going forwards.
Oh,
I'm
he
not done.
bounced up.
Yes, but from my kick. And then I spin around again, rising shoryuken uppercut him to the front of his parental lobe.
Yeah, your hand is done.
He's in the air. I'm not done. Jump, double somersault.
You're not doing anything.
You're not
doing anything.
No, I'm just explaining what was going in my head.
Oh yeah, okay.
Jump, double somersault, axe kick to the front of his face, smashing the pavement. My foot's on his face.
And it was like
I'm
a little
gloating.
it was like a little crater.
Little
crater in the
My
ground.
foot's on his face. Hands in my pockets. I take one out, brush my shoulder, tagline. That was easy.
Well, lunch time.
Well, that wasn't much of a fight, was it? I pick up my butt back, sling her on my shoulder.
You shouldn't have done that.
Continue. You shouldn't have done that. Continue calmly on my way. I mean, there's many other variations of that fight, like where he gets one punch in on me. You know, I kind of spit out one. Like,
anytime I think of it, I think of
try better
Spider-Man.
than that.
Anytime I think of it, I think of Spider-Man.
No, like my head goes full anime whenever I think of that.
I never like thought out fights like that, but there's probably one time I would have fought someone, and it was
for you.
Yeah, no, so I was on the track, right?
The most peaceful person I know.
No, I was on the track.
Who is
out of
this
nowhere.
person?
No, I didn't even see
menace.
who it was is the thing. Out of nowhere, a rock hits me like hard in the arm. Like out of nowhere.
Kids just throwing.
Some kid just threw a rock at me, and I'm looking around trying to see who it was. I'm like mad. I'm like, I'm actually about to beat this person. Like, what the heck? And I just couldn't find who it was. I was just like, what the? Someone just threw a rock and kept walking. Like, straight up. I'm just like, what happened? Like, how did this happen?
And then what'd you do?
Nothing. Like, I couldn't do anything. I didn't know who it was.
They were too scared to reveal themselves.
So I just kept walking.
It was one time I was actually about to start a fight. I don't know why. Before, I was kind of telling my story. Like before I went to high school, like I didn't go to 9th grade because I was homeschooled. Uh-huh. So like during that time, like I didn't really like know anybody in school. So like I was going into high school, I was like, yeah, like everything was boosted up in myself because I didn't know anybody else. Mm-hmm. Not to say that's a bad thing, but at the same time, you gotta like kind of understand that. You know, there's a lot of people who are different than you. They're bigger. Yeah. So, like, at that time, I was doing, like, push-ups a lot. Right. So, like, my body was different. And, like, I was in that teenage stage where, like, I noticed, like, my body started changing. Yeah. So, like, I thought I was, like, the strongest kid ever. So, when I went to 10th grade, like, I was, like, you know, it was a new me. So, I was like, oh, John, this is what high school is like. So, like, I was just, like, sitting with, like, random people. Like, I sat with one of my friends that I knew from, like, elementary school somehow. Mm-hmm. So, like, what happened was... Like, we were sitting at a lunch table, and, like, his wallet was, like, on the end of the table. And, one of these kids, he was a black kid. He, like, took one of these kids.
Explains everything.
Yeah, one of these kids, he took his wallet. So I was like, oh, crap, what the world?
Oh, your superhero story?
Yeah. So I was like, huh? He took his wallet. And then, the kid's name I was sitting was Devin, so he got up. He was like, hey, bro, give me my wallet. So I thought it was, like, kind of serious. I was like, oh, junk, this is my chance. I was like, I'm about to help this man. I'm about to help my boy out. So I got up. Like, Devin tried to get his wallet, like, numerous times. Because I was still sitting at the table, and I was looking over. And he was, like, a few feet away, like, trying to get his wallet back. I was like, dang, maybe I should intervene. So I, like, started walking up. I started walking up to the dude who had the wallet. I was like, hey, you better give him his wallet. That's literally what I said. I was like, you better give him his wallet back now. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought I was some Captain America. I was like, bro.
And then what happened?
He was like, you better. What you finna do? Then that was it. I was like, I'm glad it didn't escalate. I didn't actually want to fight. I was like, I don't know what else happened.
Well, fights got crazy at
in high school.
Yeah. For one I saw, it was on the track. A lot of stuff happened on the track, but anyway, it was like this kid just like challenged this guy, and the guy's on the wrestling team. He straight up just like does this wrestling slam. He slams him onto the track.
Oh my god!
Like straight up.
The track is painful too.
Yeah, no,
the track is painful.
There was that
spiky parts.
Yeah,
and then one time outside the math building, I like parked kind of like in the parking lot, kind of near it, so I could see what was happening, and like just of course a crowd of people, so I don't see the fight really. Right. But it clears up, and I'm waiting for people because I like drive people home, so I'm just like, you know, waiting around, and like I'm like that kid's still there. Like the kid had a seizure, like the guy beat him so bad.
Oh my!
And like the ambulance had.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Remember that kid Jaden?
No, that wasn't his name. His name was like Jaquarius or something.
No, it was something with a J, like Jaden.
But he was like this swole dude.
Yes,
like, he
shouldn't have been a skinny dude. So imagine.
So no, I'm talking about. I know you're talking different. Like he.
No, I know the guy. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
No,
he took the guy. Like there, I heard there was. I didn't see this. Thank God.
No, I saw.
Like remember the floors are the school colors were orange, black, and white. So like the walls are white, the floors are white. You can tell when something's happened. So we hear a bunch of noises, and we come out. And there's this dude laying on the floor. His head is a bloody mess. The lockers are covered in blood. God, the corner of the white wall is covered in blood. So I was like, I was being cautious. I was like, hey, Jaquavius, what'd you do to this man? Apparently, he He took his head.
It was right outside Mr. Powell's class.
It was right outside. There was like blood splatters and everywhere. Yeah, but he took his head and he slammed it into the locker. So there was a dent there, and if that was enough, he took the dude's head and slammed it into the corner of the brick wall in the inside.
You know, like how the schools have like the white walls.
Yeah,
like you always drag your finger across it. Those walls.
This dude was swole for a middle school. Like he was swole. Like he was ripped. He always wore like tank tops. Like he was on his NBA YoungBoy.
Everybody in the school knew not to talk or mess with this man. But the kid who got beat up, he was like the one kid who like always talked and thought he could say anything.
He never knew when to shot. He was like skinny.
Man.
Like
I remember like walking to class and like I saw something break out. Like that man was like stuck in a corner and like the other dude was just like
he's just going crazy.
I was like, even the teachers were like, even the teachers like somebody needs to do something. They're just like, we're not gonna do it, but somebody does.
There's like blood splatter on the windows, pools of blood all over.
This was before I was at
like a crime scene.
Like the year before. But
Mr. Powell was like, maybe I should put a new watch on.
Yeah, my friend was in a cafeteria and a fight broke out, like at the table right next to him, and like they picked up a chair, one of them, and he like hit the guy with like the metal part of the chair, and like my friend said some blood like fell onto his sandwich.
Yeah.
So like he was like, well, I guess I'm not eating lunch.
That's
anymore,
disgusting.
Remember this one kid in my school? It was like this Mexican kid. He was always like that. And for some reason, I was like, dang, this kid's kind of cool. He rebels, bro. He doesn't listen to
You talking about Carlos?
No, not him. I knew him.
Carlos was good.
That man, he was the man. He was a man, bro. Literally, we were in middle school. That man was almost driving. Like, you don't supposed to drive till high school. No, we were in middle school. He was about to start driving.
Carlos was like 6'5" in the
bro. He was like,
he had a mustache. He was swole.
Bro, I remember
he had a job.
I'd be in class and be like, bro, I'm not even joking. This is like real stuff. I'd be in class sitting in my seat. He would be on the floor doing diamond push-ups. I'm like, what are you doing? We're in class.
Carlos,
hey, bro, can you do this? No, I can't do diamond push-ups.
Whenever we played dodgeball, whatever team got Carlos won. Like the other team was like running in fear. Like you ever seen Chicken Little? Like at the end when the sky's falling, it was like that's the other team that Carlos is fighting against.
Yep.
Like he was just killing children left. Like we were little kids. We were infants.
This kid was a freaking man, bro. I remember this other kid, like the kid I was like, dang, this man rebels. But this one kid, like every time he never listened. Remember we were in Mr. Powell's class? Like one time he was like, hey, you need to do your work. That man like crumbled up the paper and shot it in the trash can like a basketball.
Ooh.
He was like, alright, bro. Then I remember one quote he told me that I always remember. He was like, life ain't nobody game. Bro, that's what he told me. He told me life ain't nobody game. I still remember it till this day. He told me that in middle school, and I remember it now.
That sounds like some movie type.
No, he told me life ain't nobody
game, cuz.
Life ain't
he
nobody.
Swishes makes a shot.
Yes, that's what he said. I was like, oh, okay. I remember like we were like having this school dance like in middle school, and like everybody knew that he was expelled, but like he showed up to the dance. That man he was like the one superstar of the dance. Like he wasn't supposed to be there, but he showed up for some reason.
Nothing but a game.
And when I thought about I was at the dance and all I remember what the words he told me. I was like, oh Joe, he's here. Life ain't nothing but a game.
I'm watching way too much.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. Very, very last thing, and it's like super short. When I was really, really little in preschool, and this is the one time I've ever punched somebody.
For you?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah, the slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know how kids will like block the slide? They're like, you can't go down. You can't go.
Yes. Yeah, I hate those kids.
I own this slide.
Well, you about to see it.
So he wouldn't let me go down the slide. And like, remember, I was short. Like I'm premature. So like I was short. So he wouldn't let me go down. So I went home and I told my dad. And I was like, you want me to go down the slide? What do I do? And he was like, if anybody stops you, you gotta get him out the way. Punch him.
Oh shoot.
I was like, okay, Dad. I was like, okay, Dad. So I go back the next day and like, you can't go down the slide. You can't. I'm like, and I walk right up to him and I said, you want a piece of me? You want a piece of me? And then, he was like, wait, what? No, he said, wait, what? And no, I punched him in the face, right? And I punched him like so hard. He was like, his back was to the slide. and I punched him so hard he fell backwards down the slide. And that's one of the lumpy slides like the lumpy slide. So it's like whoop, whoop, whoop. And then like when he got to the bottom he like fell and smacked into the little pebble rocks.
Yeah, the rocks.
And then I ran and hid under the stairs.
You didn't even go down the slide.
No, I didn't. It was all for nothing.
Yes, man.
Yeah, and I got caught, and then when I told my mom that my dad told me to do it, she's like, Dad!
Just like your dad.
Yup, and then she yelled at me, but I never regretted that.
Wow.
I was just living how I thought was right.
Well, I'd say that's a perfect end.
It
the
is
No
a
Dream
perfect-
I could keep going, too.
Yeah, I know. We always get warmed up towards the end.
Yeah, we do.
That's true.
But yeah.
Actually, I got one more story.
No.
Okay.
Save it for save it for part 2. But yeah, guys, that was. I keep coughing because I kept laughing. That was the first episode of season 3 of the No Dream podcast. I can't believe we're already on season 3. Yeah, what I normally say, it's been so long. Have I lost my touch?
You good, my boy?
No, I can't.
So we have No Dream. But
No, wait.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to say.
Oh, updates.
Yeah, make sure to follow us on Insta.
Yeah, definitely follow me because I need some followers.
Yeah, Kobe needs some followers. That boy slack.
Real good.
And follow Jon and follow me.
I only have 12 followers.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
We got some stuff planned out. I always say that, but I mean for real this time. Like we're doing some Friday, and then I got something I want to do before the end.
You
of
gotta
summer.
drop some stuff before summer.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, but I don't want to leak too much of it, so I can't really tell too much of it.
Yeah.
But I can say I got some. And if you're on Insta, you know because I post constantly on there. Well, I try to post constantly on there. So follow us on Insta. The links will be down in the description below. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay with it. Like I said, it's been a long grind. We're not in this for like a short burst. Like first podcast, glow panels, XLR camera, freaking amazing setup. Nah, we're recording this in my bedroom.
Yeah.
So
Everything starts somewhere.
on a $50 mic. So yeah, we're still getting started. We're reinventing ourselves as we go.
We're all pretty busy, you know,
Correct.
moving on in life, but
Yeah.
we're still taking time to do this
Yeah.
because we believe in it.
Yep.
Right.
You do too. I still don't. We need like a catchy title for the podcast. Like the No Dream podcast is catchy, I guess. But like
Sure.
if the word Dreamcast wasn't
No Dream podcast is catchy, but like it's just like kind of generic.
Yeah.
Because like it's just the podcast after it. It's like,
Yeah.
bruh,
So if you have any suggestions, leave it down in below. Like leave it down in the description
no dream,
below. No Dream.
no dreamy,
But Krispy Kreme.
No Dreamy.
no dreamy, no dreamy creamy.
Yeah, no. It's 1 o'clock. You're past your bedtime. Why'd you say that like it was
I
the
didn't
most
say it like it was serious, bruh.
You said it like it was the most logical thing in the planet. No Dreamy Creamy. No.
Obviously it wasn't.
Don't ever say
Obviously
that
it wasn't.
again.
That was not real.
Don't put those words together every Yeah.
No Dream.
Anyways, yeah, guys. We got No Dream.
Well,
One
Jon
Dream.
Dream.
Dairy
One
Queen.
Queen. We
Dairy
out.
Queen.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yo.
See you guys.